balding horror. That's not a real channel.
Since the dawn of the internet, data sharing across various mediums has been commonplace in many households around the world. Allowing everybody to become interconnected within a vast sea of endless information was absolutely inconceivable just a few short decades ago, definitely becoming something that we take for granted today, whether we realize it or not. Within this vast sea of surface-level internet content, an underbelly exists that harbors some of the darkest videos, images, posts, stories, and real-life situations that people have documented online. These, for the most part, are largely hidden away from those that refrain from doing a little digging. But luckily for you, tonight, we're going to explore 5 of them that I've recently come across. Welcome back to Disturbing Things from Around the Internet. This is a showcase series of various disturbing finds that I've stumbled upon online in the last few months. If you're new, this is part 8, so if you haven't yet, definitely go check out volumes 1 through 7 after this video.
Yo, Soba, thank you for
With
the
that
resub.
out of the way, get comfortable, because
Shark,
it's
thank
time,
you again for the resub.
once again, to dive into 5 more hand-picked and disturbing things from around the internet.
Okay. Man, these motherfuckers don't know what it was like to grow up without internet. Hallway visitor. Yo, that sounds terrifying.
Number 1 on our list involves an upload by a user named Avalesser60. In July of 2011, they would post a video titled, "Dog Sees Ghost." At just 4 minutes long, the upload involves a woman that went to the kitchen late at night to grab a snack. On the way back to her room, she noticed her dog standing at the end of the hallway, staring at
This is true.
something and
This one's
absolutely
true.
refusing to come to her, no matter what. At this point, she pulls her phone out to begin filming, realizing that something isn't right here.
No, no, no. This one's true. Animals don't lie.
Can you come over here now? Come here, Smooch.
We've seen this before on Bizarre Bub.
Come on. Can you come here? Come here, Smooch.
Man, that dog sees something.
Okay. It's okay. Come on. It's okay.
No, I believe the dog. Yup, yup.
It's okay. Come on. It's okay. Come on. Come here. Come by mommy. Come on. Smooch, come on. It's okay. Come on.
Man, you guys, dude.
Come on.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Come on. Come here. Come here. Come here.
I'm telling you, man.
After a couple minutes of this, she eventually begins yelling out, "Leave my dog alone," convinced that she's accompanied by some sort of entity that's preying on her dog. Standing firm, she continues to convince it to come to her.
Good. I opened your cabinet for you. Come on. Come on. Smooch, come on. Come here, baby. Come on.
You guys think it's real?
Leave my dog alone.
I think it's real.
Come on. It's okay. Come on.
You think she's a
Come on,
moron?
Smooch. Come.
Oh no, man.
Like we just saw at the end, the dog never ends up following her command, ultimately retreating around the corner.
Yeah, I believe it, man.
The comments on this video are surprisingly sparse. Some were drawing parallels to their strange experience with their pets, while others were attempting to rationalize the situation. One commenter claimed that this wasn't the work of any sort of ghost at all, but rather, the dog was scared of the black box at the edge of the frame, or what it presumed to be a shadow in the kitchen.
Maybe.
Now, in a way this makes sense, but they're hell-bent on staying on their side of the hallway at all costs. Dogs generally know their homes pretty well. What about this box or shadow would freak it out so much here?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Also, we can notice that the dog stares up at the top right corner for most of the video, which makes it seem like whatever it's scared of isn't exactly on or near the floor. Nonetheless, the video is strange, and at just over 1.5 thousand views in nearly 8 years, it definitely deserves some more insight. This dog saw something.
Yeah,
What that
no, I
something
believe
is, exactly, is unclear.
I believe
and
it,
it
dude.
might sit that way for good.
The woman in the tree.
This second entry comes from a YouTube video that gained major traction a couple years ago. Over on the channel by the name of Jitu Kumar, a video was posted on October 1st of 2017, titled, Bital Woman Viral Video. This centers around a mysterious lady from the Bital village and carries with it an insane amount of questions. The video in question is 7 minutes long, and here we can see a shot of a woman in a white robe sitting in a tree. Nothing really all that out of the ordinary. For the next couple minutes, we can see her making her way up to the top, still relatively normal. Perhaps she's doing some sort of show or just enjoys climbing trees. Really, to each their own. The video begins to get strange though when you begin to take a look around the cameraman. Many are filming, which begins to drive home the idea that something just isn't right here. Around the 4-minute mark, something incredibly bizarre happens. She finally makes her way to the top and just stands there.
What the fuck?
Motionless.
That's weird.
What's blowing my mind about this entire thing, first and foremost, is how she's managing to keep her balance all the way at the top of this large tree on such a small branch. It doesn't seem to bow, and it doesn't look like she has any support to keep her so still. So what's going on? Incredibly curious about the context here, I dug through the comments, but this didn't lead very far. Some were simply writing this off as totally fake, while others, like myself, were trying to get some backstory. What I was able to find though was a video by a channel called Viral V. They posted this footage as well and made the claim that this woman was doing this because she was possessed by a spirit. Now, I wasn't able to find any definitive proof of this claim, and it could very easily be written off as mere dramatization. Itching for something more definitive,
You think she was
I did
possessed?
some more digging on this woman in a tree phenomenon and found a few other videos of various people doing the exact same thing.
What the
all
fuck?
with crowds surrounding them, cheering them on, and filming. This leads me to the assumption that this has to be some sort of ritual. Unfortunately, information about said ritual is incredibly sparse online, so this is merely another theory. Nonetheless, the woman ended up making it back down safely. Whether this was the work of a demonic possession or a sort of rite of passage, this footage is bizarre, and to this day, remains cloaked in mystery.
Did anybody just ask her? Can we just ask her, hey, what the fuck were you doing in a tree?
In August of 2013, a Florida man named Derek Medina and his wife Jennifer Alfonso were going about their lives after becoming recently remarried. Unbeknownst to most that knew them though, their marriage would soon begin to take an extremely grim turn. On August 8th, Derek would post a sudden Facebook status. From his cell phone at about 8 p.m. that night, he would go forth to say this: "I'm going to prison or death sentence for killing my wife. Love you guys, miss you guys, take care Facebook, you'll see me in the news. My wife was punching me and I'm scared. I'm not going to stand anymore with the abuse, so I did what I did. I hope you understand me." Fittingly, his Facebook friends were shocked. Was this some sort of joke? A hoax? Was he hacked? Not quite, as soon after this post went live, he'd contact his relatives, explain to them what happened, change clothes, and head over to the police station to turn himself in. During the initial investigation, authorities caught sight of security cameras that Medina had put up in their home. After confiscating that and going over the footage, we're able to see firsthand what actually played out that night.
Holy shit. Can I watch this? A dispute occurs. Took a photo.
You might notice in that video that after the smoke flies up from the gunshots, he leaves the room before returning to take a second look at her. This wasn't just to take a second look. Remember that Facebook status that I mentioned prior from Derek? He posted another one as well at around the same time. In this other post by him, we're able to see his deceased wife slumped back.
Fuck.
The caption that he attached to this was a grim R.I.P. Jennifer Alfonso.
Holy shit.
Since this happened, Derek Medina had, like we established, turned himself in. Interestingly though, he pled in self-defense, claiming that she charged at him with a knife. Because of this claim and the results of the investigation, he was convicted of second-degree murder and ultimately was sentenced to life in prison. Across the internet, you're able to find more surveillance videos of what actually went on behind closed doors in their home. These are hard to watch, but ultimately reveal that the domestic struggles that the two faced in their relationship were probably more common than we think.
Now that's fucked, dude. Man, it's hard. It's like oh shit, sorry. Man, people are like, yo, just leave a domestic, you know? And I feel like people, they sometimes don't understand how hard that is to do. It's not just that easy. It's not like you can just block the person. It's not like you know what I'm saying? It's just not that easy, man. Especially with like stalkers and, you know, if you share a life with a person, I mean, you probably live with them, you know, like where the fuck are you supposed to go? Like, okay, so you go to like a family's house. Well, are you going to stay there forever? You know, like they know where you live, like they know where you're at, you know, it's just not that, it's not that easy. I can only try to put myself in like a situation like that. And dude, at the first sign, I'm out, man. At the first sign, if that were to ever happen, dude, I'm fucking out. Like, nope. You do you. I'm getting the fuck away from you, man.
On February 21st, 2018, in a northwest Dallas suburb, house fires would occur in a residential neighborhood.
Dude, I don't even, like the way that I think about things, man, just like, not even just like a you know, like a relationship or whatever, but even just like driving down the road, right? Basically, let's say there's 2 routes. One of them's faster by like 1 minute, but it's like, I don't know, it's a little more dangerous. I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to go down there unless I absolutely have to, because my mentality is I'm not going to put myself in that situation for anything bad to happen. Like, I try to avoid situations, because if you're not in the situation, then that's the only way that you can guarantee that that you're not going to be involved. That's just how I think about a lot of things in life, actually. I used to be a delivery driver, and sometimes I would have to deliver to like some really bad neighborhoods, you know, like fucking middle of the ghetto and shit. And there would be times where I would literally tell my manager, I would call them. I'm like, no, I'm not driving down this road. I'm coming back and you can get someone else. And they tried to pull that whole like, oh, well, you have to, you're going to get in trouble. That's fine. That's fine. Fire me. This is a shitty job anyway. They'll give me a reason to fucking find another one. I also used to be a technician, like a Comcast technician. It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. You know, there was a guy I went to, okay, I used to be in a band, and this was like, you know, it was like 16 years ago. So one of my friend's bands, their drummer worked as a delivery driver. Now, I don't know like where for, but he would deliver like food to like people. And one of the neighborhoods, I want to say this was after like my band days. So basically like, you know, I had my, you know, I was in a band for like, you know, 5 years or whatever. And then after that, you know, I slowly stopped talking to everybody, and you know, but I tried to keep up with them as much as I could. So anyway, this guy, he was a drummer, and he delivered to this like really, really bad fucking neighborhood. But when he got out of his truck, of course, you know, because people do this, they'll order something and then try to rob the delivery guy. And he was held at gunpoint. They shot him, so he died. They took his truck and they ran it through a house. I'm not fucking around. Yes. Because he delivered to a bad neighborhood at night. His name was Mark Miller, and it happened in Indiana. Yeah, here it is. Mark Miller was delivering his final Chinese food order of the night when he was fatally shot inside his pickup Tuesday on Far East Side. Police said, making him Indianapolis's 120th homicide victim of 2015. The Marion County Coroner's Office said Wednesday that Miller, 27, was killed by a gunshot wound to the chest. Sad, man. I knew this guy. Like, we would play shows together, man. It's really sad. An Indianapolis man was sentenced to 75 years in prison over Chinese food. Detectives later found that the phone number used to call in the delivery order belonged to the cell phone in Hutchins' possession. Terry Williams, who was 17 at the time of her arrest, was charged as an adult in connection to Miller's death. 17 years old. Last year, she pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit robbery and carrying a handgun. So you guys think I'm fucking around, man. Dude, I have experienced so much just dumb shit. I used to be so poor and I lived in these bad neighborhoods, man. You got to be careful. That's why I always think that way, man. If I put myself in this situation, like, what are the chances? And it doesn't matter what it could be. Just driving to the store. It could be driving to the store. It could be going to FanFest. I'm already thinking about that shit. You know how many people online hate me? You know how many people online wouldn't give a shit if I was dead? I got to be thinking about that shit. I'm always going to be with somebody, man. Okay? I'm 6'3". I'm 215 pounds. I'm in the healthiest that I've ever been in my life. But I can tell you this, I'm going to be with people. I'm going to fucking be with people. I'm going to try and be surrounded by a crowd of motherfuckers. Because, dude, let me tell you, there could be some piece of shit contributes nothing to society. Lives at home, phone in his mom's name, just absolutely worthless, pitiful human being. They come and they just fucking shoot you because fuck it. My life doesn't mean anything. Like once they realize that their life is completely worthless and they're like, fuck it, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything with my life. I'm just going to fucking take this guy out. You got to protect yourself in all aspects, man, because this shit, dude, this shit, when I heard about this, man, so I knew Mark for a while and he never had any money. He always, you know, he was hopping between jobs, living paycheck to paycheck for what he could. He delivered to this address because he felt like he had to. Because he felt like, I'm just going to imagine. I don't know. I'm imagine he felt like he had to do this. And you don't have to. That's like when I worked at Aaron Sales and Lease, man. If there was an area that I didn't want to go in, I told him to fuck off. I didn't say fuck off, but I was like, hey, man, I don't feel safe in this area. I'm not going. You get somebody else. What are they going to tell me? No. No, you have to go. All right. Good one. I just drive back to the shop. What are they going to do? What can they possibly do? You know, fire me? Motherfucker, I make $7.50 an hour. Like, you're lucky that I'm here. You're lucky that I'm here working for $7.50 an hour. Don't try to twist this shit. You know, don't try to be like, oh, you need this job. Motherfucker, please. You know how easy it is to get a job for $7.50 an hour? Now, granted, this was like, you know, this was like 13 years ago, but you know what I'm saying, man? Nah, man, that's how they try to get in your head, man. Like managers and shit. Oh, you need this job. The fuck I do need this job. You know what I need more? My life. That's what I need more. You know? Okay, so fire me. I don't give a shit. I ain't going there, bro. I don't feel safe. I'm not fucking doing it. So fuck you. You go then. And they never go. They never go. No. They never go. That's the thing. I will never have respect for a person that tells you to do something that they won't do themselves. Fuck that. Nope. No respect. You can eat my ass. Okay, anyway, sorry. I kind of went on ranted. But.
These were later determined to be linked to a on February 21st, 2018, in a northwest Dallas suburb, 2 house fires would occur in a residential neighborhood.
Sorry.
These were later determined to be linked to a natural gas pipeline that runs straight through the community. 2 days later, a third incident would play out just around the corner. On February 23rd, the Rogers family's lives would be forever changed when a natural gas explosion would occur within their home. Ominously, the moments leading up to this were actually documented by their 12-year-old daughter, Michelita. According to the Rogers family, she was recording iPhone videos early that morning for fun, goofing off and sharing her excitement as she got ready for a cheerleading event later that day.
I'm gonna get ready for the NCA, National Cheerleaders Association, today. So I'm gonna start with here, turn on my lamp because I don't want to turn on all of the lights. So I went ahead and connected my straightener, and I still have to connect the curling iron. And I already got halfway started doing the braid.
After this, she would proceed to make a time lapse of the next few minutes as she got ready. The first few seconds of this seemed pretty ordinary, and there was absolutely no implication that anything had gone awry. Until one frame, when the camera goes dark.
I saw it. Dude.
This gas explosion had led to the passing of Michelita and the injury of her parents and brother. According to her mother, who was out of the room, this happened out of nowhere while she was asleep. Once it happened and she came to, her and her husband rushed over to their daughter to find her stuck under dresser drawers. After getting her out, they rushed her outside to firefighters who laid her on the ground, as she, at the time, was still alive. In the moments during this, her mother would whisper to her in Spanish, "Fight like a warrior," confident that she got the message. After being rushed to the hospital, about a half hour later, she was pronounced dead by doctors who claimed that her internal injuries were simply too severe. The explosion had decimated their house, causing the roof to cave in and for it to sit, to this day, in ruin. Since this haunting event, Michelita has become one of 9 people to have died by natural gas leaks in North Texas since 2006. Since this, her mother has spoken out, claiming that it hasn't gotten easier. "Some days, I don't feel the damage in my body. I feel the pain in my heart." A lawsuit was later filed against Atmos Energy, who were in the neighborhood replacing aging steel pipes during the days leading up to and on the date of her passing. Apparently, the neighborhood that they lived in was long neglected by the company, leading to the onslaught of gas-related incidents in the area. While the company has denied the claims, the lawsuit is still pending. The passing of Michelita is undoubtedly something that no family should ever have to endure.
I don't know,
She
man.
fought
I'm
like a
always on
warrior,
the
but seeing
side
as
of
she was at
blame the
very
fucking company,
epicenter of
man.
This blast, not
I've been
shielded
burned too
by any
much.
walls or barriers, her life had come to an end in one of the most tragic ways imaginable.
I've been fucked, dude. I've been fucked over too much by companies to ever give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, they're responsible for all that shit. You know how easy it is for them to just ignore shit like that? Just, fuck it, we'll fix it next year, whatever. You know, we got a bunch of people living there. Who cares if one of them dies? You know, who gives a shit, you know? I'm just always on the side blame the company,
A
man.
widow named Sandra Harold and her pet chimpanzee,
Oh my
Travis,
God.
have lived together in Stamford, Connecticut since 1995. Having raised him with her late husband since he was just days old, Sandra often referred to Travis as more of a son than a pet. They'd often bring him along to work and to shopping trips around town, and having been socialized around humans for his entire life, the Harolds maintained a growing trust in what they believed to be his extremely calm and well-trained demeanor.
I haven't seen this one.
On the night of February 16th, 2009, this notion would be thrown into a tailspin when a friend by the name of Charla Nash would visit them. At around the same time she'd arrived, Travis had gotten a hold of Sandra's car keys and left the house. Noticing that Charla was holding a Tickle Me Elmo, Travis's favorite toy, he brutally attacked her, latching his hands onto her face and pulling it apart, piece by piece. At this point, Sandra would grab a butcher knife and run out to begin stabbing him in an attempt to get him to stop. This ended up being futile though, as it only made him angrier. Since this was the case, Sandra rushed back to grab the phone. She dialed 911 and in a desperate plea, manically described the situation as it was unfolding in front of her.
What the fuck?
For 911, where's your emergency?
Oh, this is Sandy. 231 Rock Criminal Road.
What's the
Send
problem?
the police. Send the police.
What's the problem there?
The chimp killed my friend.
What's the problem with your friend?
Oh, please.
What's the problem with your friend? I need to know.
Send the police up with a gun. With a gun. Hurry
Who
up.
has a gun?
Please hurry up. He's killing my girlfriend.
What is the problem?
He's killing my friend.
Who's killing your friend?
My chimpanzee.
Oh, your chimpanzee is killing your friend.
This operator is a fucking
He ripped
idiot.
her apart. Hurry up.
With a gun.
Hurry up, please.
There's someone on the way.
With guns, please. You shoot him.
What is the monkey doing? Tell me what the monkey's...
He ripped her face off.
He ripped her face off?
He's trying to attack me. Please,
Okay,
hurry.
I need you to calm down a little bit. They're on the way. Can you put yourself away? I don't want the monkey attacking you.
Please, hurry up. Listen to me.
They're on the way, ma'am.
Guns. They gotta shoot him, please. Please, hurry. Please tell him. Please tell him to kill him, please.
They did, Sandra. They're shooting at him already, okay?
But he's not dead.
I know. They will continue until he's dead, okay? I just need you to stay on the phone with me and breathe.
Holy fucking shit.
He's not dead. He's not dead. Oh, God.
When the police arrived, Travis, after engaging with the officers, was shot numerous times, which resulted in his death. As for Carla, her face was completely ripped off, and she was immediately rushed to the hospital, where she underwent over 7 hours of surgery on her face and hands. According to medics, she lost her hands, nose, eyes, lips, mid-face bone structure, and maintained significant brain injuries. A few weeks later, it was announced that she'd be blind for life. Afterwards, she was offered the opportunity to undergo experimental transplant surgery due to the extreme nature of her injuries, and this seemed to be successful. Until later, when her body began to reject them, resulting in her undergoing even more corrective surgery. According to toxicology reports, shortly before this incident, Travis had been given a mixture of prescribed Xanax and tea in Sandra's attempt at treating his Lyme disease. This is widely believed to be the cause of his manic episode, as the drug causes paranoia and hallucinations in chimpanzees. In 2009, the Nash family would file a $50 million lawsuit against Sandra Harold. A year later, though, at age 72, Harold would pass away due to a ruptured aortic aneurysm. Because of this, the Nash family ended up reaching a settlement with Harold's estate, which was valued at about $4 million. Charla Nash is, to this day, still undergoing recovery efforts from the attack. What played out on the night of February 16th, 2009 is incredibly tragic and will undoubtedly remain in the back of her mind for the rest of her life.
Holy fuck.
The internet.
Like, how do you handle that situation, man? Let me rephrase. Like, whose fault is it? At the end of the day, I mean, you know, a monkey's a fucking animal. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, you know, an animal's gonna do what an animal is gonna do. No, yeah, no, I mean, I know it's I mean, regardless of however you look at it, right? It's the owner's fault. Because one, it's the owner, but two, the owner, like, gave him the medicine, right? But I mean, it's like, it just, all I'm saying here is it really makes you wonder, right? Like, after 14 years, then all of a sudden, like, the monkey gets that medicine, right? Like, fuck, man. No, I'm not trying to, like, you know, it's just, no matter how you think about it, it's just a really sad situation. Because it kind of makes you think, like, was the monkey aware of what it was doing? Like, holy fuck, man. It's just, no matter how you look at it, that story, I thought that first picture was a really good picture. Like the monkey and the sweater, and, you know, I thought that was a nice wholesome picture. But then, holy shit. Can we get back to the ghost, the real thing's too much? Oh, God, man. Man, these videos are heavy.